Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution. We are at episode 200. I can't believe we're here. I've done this show 200 out of the last 201 days. I missed one day in like August for an out of town trip. I went prime time one day because of a massive sinus headache, but here we are, episode 200. Clean shaven, woke up early. I've been inundated with packages ship. eBay is booming in large part because of 2021 tops. I opened some retail over the weekend. My hobby boxes that I received from that I bought from tops.com, they arrived yesterday. So I did those rips yesterday. So I'll get into that. I know a lot of you don't like to hear me talk about wrestling. So I'm going to get that out of the way first. I'm going to talk WWE, the living set. When it first was announced that Topps would be doing a living set for WWE, I was really excited. I think it's kind of a cool concept. I'm not a set builder though. So the baseball living set did not appeal to me. I picked up a couple of the Cubs cards along the way. But it's just not, as a set builder, it's just not a thing. I've never really been into wrestling cards. I was more of a magazine collector, and I did pick up a bunch of magazines over the winter. But when the living set announcement came out, I was excited to dive into possibly collecting it. After the first two cards were Steve Austin and Trish Stratus, and I was just kind of like, I love the design. It's based on the 85, the classic 85 Topps WWF design. But the first two subjects didn't really, appeal, even though I was a huge wrestling fan when they were, in their prime, the Attitude Era. So Miz and Maurice were cards 3 and 4, and I thought, well, maybe if cards 3 and 4 appeal to me, I'll go back, buy 1 and 2, and collect the set. Miz and Maurice, they have a good show. Not a big fan, but I ended up to get free shipping for my hobby boxes from Topps. I bundled to get the free shipping, and I decided to get the living set Miz and Maurice cards. And I thought it was just going to be, at the time when I purchased that, I thought this is just going to be a one-off. I'll just set them aside and put them up on eBay later. What's up, George? Good morning. Talking a little wrestling. So I decided to, kind of on a whim, I decided I'm going to go back. I'm going to buy cards 1 and 2, Steve Austin, Trish Stratus. Was able to get them on eBay for like $6-7 ship. Follow WWE that much. I did watch Royal Rumble, but I thought it was kind of an interesting. Ended up buying them on the Top website. I could have bought them cheaper on eBay, but I just ended up going through Topps, get those Topps points or whatever. So that's my living set talk. Moving on. I'm a little early today because like I said, I have a ton of shipments, so I was able to catch up and get a lot of packages done this morning. A little shave, made some coffee. So I apologize if you're missing me because I went on early. So my hobby boxes did come today or yesterday. So I ordered 3. So my concern was, with Topps was I was not going to find any on shelves, not knowing how much they were actually producing of series 1. It's always available, but I thought it would be a couple weeks before I would actually be able to find it on the shelves. I figured it would be gobbled up immediately. And then by the second or third restock, I would find some, but by then, the newness wears off, new sets start coming in. So I didn't want to wait. So my first order, I kind of caught FOMO, and I found retail boxes, the 24-pack retail boxes on Toy Wiz for like $90. And after shipping, I bought 4. After shipping, they ended up being like $100 a piece. Maybe they were 95 and shipping was 20. I can't remember, but it was like a $400 order for 4 boxes. But I never received any like confirmation, didn't receive any shipping notifications. And we go into last week, no updates. And all of a sudden, Target online has you can order blasters. And I was able to get an order of 3 blasters from Target. And they were shipped, and I got those on Sunday. Then Topps sold their hobby boxes for $80, which is a steal because they're going for $150 at the retail sites last week. So I was able to get my order in for the 2 hobby boxes. Those ended up being delivered yesterday, so I'm following the tracking. I was able to get my Target when I went in on Friday was just absolutely loaded with Series 1, like every SKU, hangers, packs, blasters, mega boxes. And I only picked up 2 blasters just to get that, initial, it's right here in front of me. I want to open something. I don't want to wait till Sunday and Monday. So picked up 2 blasters in the wild. So now I've opened 5 blasters. I've got my 2 hobby boxes being delivered. I've got this Toy Wiz order that I've never bought from them before, so I don't know their reputation. I know they're reputable. But what am I don't know when these are going to come. I haven't received any confirmation other than they received my order and took my money. So when are these going to come? I don't want these retail boxes a month from now. So I hate canceling orders, but due to the lack of any notifications, I went ahead and tried to cancel my order. And I'm thinking this is going to be a pain in the rear because it's a site that I've never dealt with. I know it's legit, but how legit is it? Is this going to be a process? So yesterday at like 8 a.m., like right after I got done with the show, I submitted a cancel request, and it was surprisingly super easy. I just went to the website. I don't even think I had my login information. I just put in the order number, put in my email address, my order number, and the reason why I wanted to cancel. Click submit. Within 15 minutes, they had refunded my money. Amazing. I have never had a cancellation for anything, any type of item, go so easy. I mean, the only thing easier is when you walk into Walmart and say, I don't want this, and they just give you money without a receipt. Just give them the product, they give you money. I think Walmart's the easiest return. This is like 1B. It was super easy. So I canceled that order, and so I may go out this week and pick up some more retail. Just I'm thinking about mega boxes. I think price per card is the best. And I was pulling some great. I was watching George and Herman last night, and Herman was pulling some ton of inserts out of the retail, and I was as well. Like, retail for inserts is the way to go. So I will get to my hobby box in just a moment. So George says Series 1 is going to be on the shelves till 2027, it appears. I've seen some of the numbers based on the odds. I don't do math, but other people do, and some of the math is just absolutely crazy on Topps Series 1 production. You've started enjoying the Topps exclusives. I've kind of been the opposite. I was really high on them 2 years ago, and I was buying a lot, and this is when they made a lot less. But I was buying into the Throwback Thursday sets. I was buying into the player collaboration sets. I tried to get into like Ginter X, but I was unable to. The first year it came out, I wasn't interested. And then I think by the second year, I missed out. And then I was able, finally this year, I was able to get a box. But I agree, some of the Topps exclusives are really cool. So I've been buying some here and there. So I wanted to talk about since we're talking tops. So I've got a funny story about deliveries that I'll get to in a moment. But I just kind of want to let's get tops out of the way and keep talking tops. Zach, nice to see you dusted a fart on another seller. Fart and dust, man. Fart and dust. Um, so so tops, hobby boxes. So was just looking on Twitter, saw that one of those trout cards is about $300 in Japan. Whoa. So I picked up 2 hobby boxes yesterday, and I opened the first one right after work. Like, I raced downstairs and busted open. I didn't even want to. I just wanted to enjoy opening a hobby box. Sometimes opening on camera is kind of I'm not good with video and all that. So for me to like video a rip is kind of more work for me, because I've got to get the camera right, and you can't really enjoy the rip. You can't go at your own pace when doing it on video. So it's so I sometimes I just like to rip a box on my own. I can get through a few packs, go get a beer if it's at night, or a cup of coffee in the morning. So I just wanted to rip it, sprawl out on the floor, get some penny sleeves, and open that first box of 2021 tops. So yesterday, so my first hobby box, I get through. So these were the let's see. So the first hobby box I pulled a Joey Bart image variation. And so that was kind of like the big hit. And then my auto or jersey was a jersey relic of Fernando Tatis. And I kind of expected I'm just going to get a jersey relic, plain white patch. At least it's Tatis, so it's a bigger name player. It's not like a Sonny Gray or somebody that's going to be in the dollar bin. So my first box was like, and the silver packs are cool. Pulled like Bryce Harper. I think I did pull a Sonny Gray in the silver packs. So the first box, it was fun. I probably got, and I was talking to Dak T-Mac-Fin, and I were messaging back and forth yesterday, and I think he mentioned that he got about $80 worth of cards in his box. And same with my first hobby box. It was a good buy for $80. I would have felt really bad for myself. I would have held a pity party if I would have paid $150 for that particular hobby box. I would have been pretty upset. The Through the Years Dynasty 1-of-1 reprints, those are terrible. Absolutely awful. What's up, Dan? Good morning. There's no reason that Topps should be reprinting cards from like 3 years ago. And we don't need, and I'm tired. I like reprints, okay, of T206, although those are starting to get, over the years, we've had tons of those, but like rare pre-war sets, because 1887 Allen and Ginter, I can't afford that for my own collection. So it's nice to have a reprint like this is. If I had all the money in the world and could afford every Cubs card, these would be original. So at least they represent something in the collection. So I appreciate reprints of pre-war and rare sets. I don't appreciate a reprint of an 89 Topps Randy Johnson. We don't need those. I've probably got 50 of them in one of these boxes behind me. What's up, Dak T-Mac? Good morning. So those reprints through the years, just awful. And the thing is, like, if you pay close attention, and I get duped too. Like I'm in cards like all night, all afternoon, all night. And they even trick me if I'm opening a pack and it's like, whoo, is this an auto? Oh, it's a stupid 25-cent reprint insert. But at least on the back, they do have like the border. It says through the years, so you shouldn't be duped. But if you're a new collector and kids, it's tricky. And on the back, it does clearly state. So in reality, you shouldn't be duped if you have a front and back picture, because it clearly states on the back it's a reprint. However, it's dumb. I hate the idea. Be original. Stupid idea for an insert. Totally agree. What's up, Herman? Good morning. So my first hobby box was kind of a but it was okay. So the second hobby box, and I actually opened the second hobby box as I was watching Herman open his. Looks like I got a eBay request. It's been a while for one of those. So I opened up the second hobby box. Some people. So the first hit was this Mike Trout, and the only reason I knew this was a parallel was because it was upside down in the pack. If this was right side up in a pack, I would have just gone right through. And that's what's tricky about Topps. I actually had an Independence Day parallel in one of the blasters I bought that I didn't see until the second time when I was going back to pull like all the rookie cards out. And I see, oh, this is red, white, and blue Independence Day parallel. So this is one of the advanced stat parallels. It's numbered to 300. So that was a nice hit. It's Mike Trout. So like of any of the cards, that's what it would have been. And then I pulled a hit. And how about that? Rookie auto, and these are on card, Joe Adell. So those two cards right now, Angels Hot Box, already made up for my kind of a bummer first box. And then a short print. It's the Lou Gehrig short print. So those three were all in the same box. So the second box was a pretty darn good hobby box, and well worth the $80. Yeah, no, actually, so I'll read the message. It was a $4 card with free shipping, and I still have not received, been all caps, more than patient, 2 exclamation points. Have no idea why this was shipped with no tracking, but not very happy at this moment, 2 exclamation points. Well, sometimes you get what you pay for when you're dealing with the Postal Service. I apologize. I could have charged you $10 for a $4 card. I've missed those advanced stat cards until going back to build the set. Yeah. Fortunately, it seems all of the numbered parallels that I've pulled have been upside down in hobby boxes. But in retail boxes, they were, and this is a small sample size. This is based on 2 hobby boxes and 5 blaster boxes. My Independence Day parallel in retail was right side up, and I missed it. I'm pretty sure the golds were right side up as well. Now in the hobby boxes, the Trout of 300 was backwards, and a couple other cards, it may have been the golds, because there were several cards that were upside down. So you always know, and this is the thing, the hits are always the numbers, and the hits, the parallels and variations are always like in the middle of the pack. They're like cards 5 or 6 or something like that. And even knowing that, I still miss this stuff. Especially, you're just ripping through, and it's like, oh, this is just some random player. And you don't realize it's a parallel or short print variation, etc. So that was interesting that some of those numbers in retail were right side up, hobby backwards, upside down. So the last topic I wanted to touch on, it's a story that I had shared partially a couple weeks ago. My wife came back from Florida, said she purchased some art. And she said it was a pretty big piece. And so like a few days later, a FedEx van backed into my driveway, and I never see like delivery trucks and vans back into driveways. So I'm like, oh geez, what did she order? And the funny thing was, the FedEx guy backed in, and it was like literally an envelope. It was, it was this size, just like a 8x10 envelope, and it was my Parkside Cards Negro League Baseball Museum set, which came in a box. Like, yay. So little did I know, and here's where I jinxed myself. My wife gets a phone call yesterday, and I can overhear. I'm in my office, and I can hear her talking, trying to like direct somebody into our subdivision. She says that there's a roundabout, and yeah, you should be able to make it through the roundabout. And I'm like, what in the world? Like, who are you talking to? It's the delivery driver for her art, which is coming in a 53-foot trailer, a semi. The driver, the truck driver, didn't want to risk coming into the neighborhood. So he requested our assistance, and he was a couple blocks away. And it's, by the way, it's minus 11 degrees, and the wind chill is minus 30. And where we have to go out and meet, it's pretty wide open because we're on like the far west side of Madison. So you can feel the wind. You can feel that wind chill at minus 30. So here we go. And there's the truck, and the art is on a pallet, the back of a truck. So he's gonna, it's actually two pieces, and we're gonna put it in the back of our SUV. And so we get the first one's smaller, like, I don't know, 4 feet by 2 feet or whatever. So that fits fine. The second piece is about 5.5 feet tall, 5 feet wide. It does not fit. So what do we do? Well, truck driver, you're gonna have to try to get to our house. So puts it back in the truck. He follows us in. He can't make it through the roundabout, so he has to like park on the side of the road, a block away from our house, and he carries this piece of art a block down the street, minus 11, 30 degree below wind chills for this piece of art. So I made sure to tell my wife that none of my baseball cards have been delivered in a 53-foot semi, especially in 30 degree below wind chills. This also, I feel redeemed because my case of Allen and Ginter in the year of our wedding, 2017, after our family dinner, like the week of our wedding, I get my wife to drive over to the UPS place to pick up the case because I wasn't there to sign for it at delivery. And we were under a tornado warning. And here we are picking up baseball cards in a tornado warning. So I feel like we're even now. It took almost 4 years, but we're even. I had to stand out and get art out of a semi in 30 degree below wind chills. Yeah, Herman, hobby roundtable. I'm totally down for that. I'm just name a time and I can make myself available. I don't have anything going on. So yeah, Saturday night works for me, whatever time. Hearing the prices of the boxes you bought, I didn't live through it, but I'm curious for those that had, how difficult was the transition from 50-cent to $1 packs to the jump we see today? That's a great question. And I'm with you, Zach. I was not there to experience that transition either. I think, Zach, you were probably collecting back around the same time I was in the late 90s or in the late 80s, early 90s, when packs went from like a quarter, 35 cents to 50 cents. And then the introduction of Upper Deck. And then there was like Action Pack, which was like $2.50 a pack. So I remember those. And like as a kid, those were like unattainable. Couldn't afford Upper Deck, couldn't afford Action Packed. I had to settle for like Topps, Fleer, and Donruss. So when PAX made that jump, I came back into the hobby when I was in high school in like 98. And I was buying cards, and I don't think I had much sticker shock at that point. Because I kind of evolved, basically my income, and I'm talking like kid income, my kid income evolved with the evolution of pricing. So, when prices were 50 cents for a pack of Topps, I was making a couple bucks a week on allowance. When prices went up a couple were a couple bucks, I was working a minimum wage job. So I was making, so my income level rose with the prices. So I never really experienced in the times that I came back. It was just kind of acceptance. I didn't have that sticker shock really. I mean, I probably honestly have more sticker shock now in 20, and actually going back the last few years, than I ever did in the 90s into the 2000s, because, I've used this example many times. In 2017, I bought a case of Bowman for right at $800. And then last year was $3,200 for that same case of Bowman. So my sticker shock is more current than what it ever was, as the prices rose in the 90s and 2000s. Was there ever pushback, or did they sell the idea of the value well to justify the jump from junk wax to inserts and relics? That's another question that I wasn't really around for, because I think when did the first relics? We started seeing autographs in the early 90s. I think 92, 91, 92. And they were like super scarce, because I think 91 Score had, I think that was the Mickey Mantle 91 or 92 Score. I think Joe DiMaggio had autographs in some boxes back then. There were Cal Ripken Jr. in like 92 Donruss, but like super scarce. It wasn't like one a box. It was like one every 10,000 cases or whatever. It was crazy odds. And then I think relics came along in the late 90s, early 2000s. But I wasn't really collecting at that time to really have much of an idea. George says he remembers seeing boxes in the 90s and early 2000s and thought prices were ridiculous. Didn't some set have an Aaron auto? Yeah, Aaron. I think Aaron might have been Upper Deck. When Upper Deck did those like tribute sets in the early 90s. And I can't remember which year Hank Aaron was, because there was there a Nolan Ryan? There was a Reggie Jackson. I think there was a Hank Aaron and Reggie Jackson, because Reggie would have been in like 91, and maybe Hank Aaron was 92 Upper Deck. I don't have any of those. I have some sets, but I don't have any wax boxes. So yeah, I can't remember which year that was. Mantle auto, Aaron and Ted Williams for Heroes. Yeah, the Heroes sets. Ted Williams, yeah. Ted Williams, Hank Aaron. There was Reggie Jackson, Nolan Ryan. Yeah, for those Heroes. Reggie Jackson was 90. Mantle and Griffey and an Aaron. Yep. Yeah, Mantle was Score. I don't remember Griffey. Aaron was Upper Deck, I'm pretty sure. Ripken was Donruss. Nolan Ryan and Hank Aaron were 91. Okay. Yeah, because I think Nolan Ryan was like the final salute to his career, because he had just retired in 90. So yeah, they like commemorated Nolan Ryan's career, and then did something special with Hank Aaron in that year as well. I wonder if that was maybe the 25th for Hank Aaron. I wonder if that was the 25th. I bet they did that to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the home run record, because he did that in 74. Trying to do the math. Oh, that was only 15 years. 84. No, that doesn't make sense at all. That would have to have been 76 to make it 15 years. See, I said earlier, I don't do math. I can't do that calculation quick enough. So yeah, they did those. So that's all I had for today. Oh, by the way, Zach, look what I found. I'm going to throw this in. I don't know. You probably know that this card exists, but I was going through when I was sorting last week. I'm going to throw this in your trade package. I don't know if you know this guy. Maybe you're related to this guy. But I'm going to throw that into your trade package. I thought that was funny when I was going through. I'm like, oh, hey, cool. So that's what I had for today. 30 minutes. That's why I wanted to start a little early, because I knew I had a bunch of topics to talk about. And I was actually going to talk about my glimpse into the hobby future. I keep pushing. I was going to talk about that like 2 weeks ago, and I keep pushing it out. So I think I will talk about that tomorrow, especially with the like big increase in sales on eBay. So that's going to be a timely subject. Zach, yeah, his last name's Byrne, Byrne. His name's Steve Byrne. Apparently he's an actor and comedian. Born in Pittsburgh. His first show was Sullivan and Son, which aired for 3 seasons on TBS. Recently has directed a documentary, Always Amazing, about the comedian magician, the amazing Jonathan. So, yeah, Steve Byrne. So I'll toss that in for you. And I should get that package out to you tomorrow, because I've got to go through and I have you on the whiteboard, Zach. 90 score. I keep forgetting. And then like every once in a while I get a trigger. It's like, oh shoot, I've got that 90 score list for Zach. So you're on the board. So now it's going to remind me every time I'm in this room to get those score, because I've literally, and I can see them through the wall here. I have like 6 in the last collection I picked up from Craigslist. There were 6 complete, like in the original box sets of 90 score, only missing the Frank Thomas and Bo Jackson cards because the guy pulled those out. So I have those complete sets, so I can probably go through real quick. I don't know if they're numerically ordered, but I haven't moved them into other boxes yet, so it'll be pretty quick. One of the quicker finds for me, because normally it's hard for me because these are like not sorted, but the 90 score, it's like, oh, I have those, partial sets already in the box. Bo's whiteboard, that's right. Along with the PWE tracking is also on my whiteboard, so I'll talk about that as well. Because I've kind of settled on what my personal, I don't want to say requirements, but my personal thoughts are on PWE tracking and when to use it. And it's kind of not black and white. It's kind of a gray area for me and how I'm using it. So I'll share, my tips on those. So that's it for today. Appreciate the chats. Thanks for joining. And I will see you tomorrow.